I know lots of you are big lovers of coffee, but what's your favourite way to prepare your mug of joy? This is the way I've done it for a while now. Mainly because we don't have a coffee machine. But do I need a coffee machine? Or would I be able to make just as good a cup of coffee with like a V60 or something like that? So I got my breakfast. It's a slice of toast with butter. I don't know what you expected it to be. I've got my coffee, and I've also got my ride food, which is going to be fruits, nuts, and seeds. Believe it or not, I used to do all of my long rides on trail mix a couple of years ago for hill climbing season, and that was one of the things that actually got me down to 58 kilos, 59 kilos. Was the fact that I was consuming. Was the fact that I was consuming basically less processed stuff on the bike, of more natural food. Just so happened to be trail mix because it was easier and it was calorie dense. It was also a part of my experimental phase. So I'm in the process as well of designing corresponding workouts for the WTRL Season 2, for Zwift, and for BRT, Bolt Racing Team. Workouts that Zwift can put out as actual events, like actual events, that anybody can join and do the workout. And the workout would be as close to simulating the races that we're going to have in Season 2 as possible, but with the important caveat that they're not going to be balls out. You need to get the most out of the training session, so by replicating the race 1-to-1, you need to be careful. So most of the intensity factors for these sessions, some of them are really high, they're like 0.94, 0.95, but that's really cool. Like, I'm super excited for Zwift to host those events. What's even more cool is that I will actually be doing them. I'll be doing them as the beacon, I think, as the leader. Something else I wanted to talk about was an FTP test. I mean, it's pretty obvious that I haven't done one. You guys know that, you know. And you're probably wondering why I haven't done one. And it's because of my experience of the last couple of years to kind of know where my fitness is. And therefore, as long as I can take an estimate and have a good guess, I don't necessarily have to get it spot on. FTP changes every day. You know, you may feel crap when you get on the bike today, and so your FTP could be 5 watts lower as a result. Your FTP changes because it's very dynamic. It's not just a static number. I'm gonna do an FTP test in the new year, probably like the first week of January, the end of the first week of January. I'll do it indoors, even though I hate doing it indoors, because I don't want to expose my lungs to 190 beats a minute outside in 0-degree weather. In which case, I will live stream it. The question is, am I going to do a ramp test? Am I going to do a 20-minute test? Or am I going to do a 4DP? Or am I going to do fill in the blank? I'm going to do the ramp test, and then I'm going to do the 20-minute test. And then I'm going to do the 7 watt per kilo test, because the 7 watt per kilo test is one of the big targets in 2021. How long can I hold 7 watt per kilo for? It's a bit arbitrary, I know, like trying to hold 7 watt per kilo. I honestly think in peak shape, I can do it for 20 minutes, or like as close to 20 minutes as possible. It's going to take a bit of watching my weight as well. If I want to hit 7 watt per kilo for 20 minutes, like, it's going to take not only the power, but I'm then going to have to drop. Like a kilo, just over a kilo, just for that one day. So it's gonna be an interesting goal, that one. But I want to do a 7 watt per kilo test because it's always a sign for me. You know, if I can do like my PB is like 13 minutes at 7 watt per kilo. If I can do, you know, 5 now, and then in a month's time, for example, I could do 7, and in a month's time I could do 9. You know, there's obvious progression. So it's a weird test, but it's one that, again, is very, very measurable. And that's what I like.
Well, that was a solid ride. I haven't even got any sweat on me. So the headwind was doing its job. You're going to shout at me for this. I drank one, is this a 900? I think it's a 900ml bottle, or 850ml bottle of water. And I had a couple of handfuls of my fruit, nuts and seeds. And I had that one slice of toast for breakfast. And I did 3 hours. Plus, we did a big effort at the end, which I'm going to have a look at now. Pull up a chair, guys. Let's talk stats. So I've got the ride up from just now on Training Peaks. And I can see my effort right at the end from like halfway up the volcano to the top. We had like a mini race. So we did the 103, 105 kilometers around the volcano to get the badge and to take a huge chunk out of the Festive 500. And then for those that wanted it, we'd hit the volcano KOM and we'd race from like that flat section to the top. So halfway up to the top, basically. So in total, there was a 2 minutes and 50-second effort. My watts per kilo was 6.5, and my normalized power is the same as my average power, 402 watts. Now, I weigh about 2 kilos more than I normally do, so that severely impacts my performance, or my usual performance, not my performance, my usual performance. My average heart rate was 182, my max was 190, and that's roughly, I mean, for those of you that follow me, you know that that's a high heart rate for me. So that was full gas for me, and the intensity factor based off an estimated FTP of I think 325 was 125% of FTP. So it was pretty hard, like 2 hours and 57 minutes into the ride. I think I only accumulated 100 TSS throughout the whole ride, but at the end of like 3 hours of riding, granted it's not hard, that's pretty good. I took all of this apart earlier so that Charlie could do half an hour on the turbo. Just now, there's her bike. So I've set it all back up because we've got another ride tomorrow morning. I had a DM from the Bynea Climbers crew up in Newcastle. So that is apparently a new Storm Shield jersey that's coming soon. Now, I think I'm okay in saying that, Storm Shield jersey, because I mean, you could probably take a guess that that is a waterproof, like Gamba style jacket material. I'll definitely pick one up. I'll need one for sure. when I start training outdoors again, which will be pretty soon. I'm pretty happy about it. Some of the comments you left on yesterday's video, it shows that you're just as happy as me to see me back out on the road, and all being well, I'm gonna be motivated to smash it in January. There's one more thing I've got to show you. So I've been asked a few times in the last month if I'll be racing in 2021. The short answer is yes. Obviously I race, it's still something that I love doing. Now, the long answer is I won't be racing for a team, necessarily a team. I'm racing for myself, or racing for our little group, gang, team, whatever we're going to call it. But I have had a letter in the post, which is from British Cycling. Actually, I've had two. This one's from British Cycling as well. But it's got my race license in it. And I think British Cycling were doing a discount because of what happened this year with no races. So they've given everybody a membership discount, I think. Either a membership or race discount. It's pretty good of them anyway. It's the least that they could do, to be fair. But still, it's still touch and go whether or not there will be races next year. But I'm still very passionate about road racing. It's where I started racing, as well as crits. And if they crop up, I will definitely do them. Particularly the ones that I have done in the past and I've really enjoyed doing. So I'd like to go back and do them again. So the short answer, yeah, I'll still be road racing.